Hi, this is Ed from Wright. This week we're talking about all of the TWEEL and dual configurations that we offer and to kind of show you a roadmap of what's available and what we have going on here. So first off, we have the mower models here. We have the standard tires here. We have how many lug nuts are on each of those wheel configurations. And nowadays, everything that's 23 inch and bigger has 5 lugs, and everything that's 20 and smaller has 4 lugs. There are a lot of people who use 4 lugs on bigger tires. We found that it's good to just sort of out of redundancy to use the 5 lugs. It's a beefier setup for the bigger tires. So we're 5 lugs on everything bigger. And when you're looking at TWEELs, it's one important thing. Now, the TWEELs for the different mowers, let's go through that here. So the ZXT has a narrower tire on the 52-inch deck and a wider tire on the 61 and 72. And so the turf TWEEL, we say it's compatible for the 61 and 72. If you put it on the 52-inch deck, it's going to stick outside a little bit wider than the deck. Now, we have an off-road TWEEL available. It's a 26 by 950, and it has a narrower track width on the machine. And so we recommend it for the 52 and the 61. You could put it in a 72, but it just means that your track width is going to be narrower compared to the deck. Unofficially, you can play some games with that. You can get wheel spacers that you'd use on a Jeep or something like that, and you could put wheel spacers in the hub and bump the tire out, something along those lines. But as a standard fit, this is a bit narrow for the 72-inch deck. Now, on the dual side, we have the air tires, which are 26 by 950, 4 26 by 950s. We recommend that for the 72. On the 61, it's going to be wider than the deck. And so the width of the tires here, they're going to be around an inch narrower than the deck, about 71 inches, somewhere around there. And we do offer a dual TWEEL setup for the ZXT as well with the off-road tread. So that's the 2 950s on there. We don't offer a dual turf TWEEL on the ZXT because the tires are too wide to fit inside the width of the deck. Now on the ZTO, we don't currently recommend TWEELs for that because of the ZT 3000 series transmissions. I just don't think that as an industry we've had enough experience with TWEELs on these transmissions. We know that TWEELs increase things like peak torque, peak oil pressure, and some of these kinds of things. And so I would like to see more data on that before authorizing and standing behind it. I think there's a really high chance that if you did put a 24-inch TWEEL on a ZTO that you wouldn't have issues, but it's not something we're ready to call a warranty-approved application. Now, for the ZK has a 1050 wide tire on the 52-inch deck and a wider tire on the 61 and 72. So if you want to put the turf TWEEL on a 52-inch ZK, you want to also get the reverse mount kit. So that flips the wheel around backwards so the offset sits a lot closer to the frame and gets the width of that tire inside the width of the deck. Now, a 52 with the TWEELs, it is actually a pretty cool setup because you get a really wide tire on a narrow width deck. And so from that standpoint, it's great. Now the turf TWEEL standard mount is good for 61 and 72 here. And we offer dual air tires, that's 4 23 1050s. And we also offer dual TWEELs, which are 4 24 12s on the back of the machine. Now, as we talk about dual TWEELs and dual air tires, the dual air tires have the advantage in that you can take the air pressure down to, say, 10 psi or something like that. And when you take the air pressure down, then when you drive over any lump or rock or something, the tire completely absorbs it. And so you get a very smooth cut and a very smooth ride. Now, with the duals, both the TWEEL and the air, if you go over a hole, you bridge the hole. And so the mower doesn't drop into the hole, makes a very smooth ride, smooth cut. And that's true for the TWEELs. But the TWEELs are going to be a stiffer ride when you put 4 of them on the machine. So they'll bump over stuff a little bit more, but they'll still bridge the gap over holes and that kind of stuff pretty well. The thing about dual airs is just that it's a bit of a pain if you get a flat tire on your inside tire, to disassemble that and get in there. whereas the dual Tweels, you don't have that issue. About 2 weeks ago, we did a video on Tweels, specifically the return on investment for Tweels, and over the life cycle of a machine, the amount of money that the Tweel can save you and the opportunity cost. So if you're thinking about the Tweel decision, go back to that video and you can see some of that information there. Now, moving on down the lineup, we have the Standard X. Now, Michelin has the 18.5 inch by 8 Tweel. This Tweel is kind of halfway between a 20-inch tire and 18-inch tire. It has about a 1/4 inch lower ride height than the 20-inch tire. And so it fits on the Standard X. With any change in air pressure or tire setup, you want to reset your deck pitch. That's a video that we did last week talking about what pitch is, why it's important, what to look out for there. But anytime you change this stuff, you want to be sure to recheck your pitch. Otherwise, it could have an adverse effect on your cut quality. Now, moving into the intensities, the standard tire is an 18 by 850 tire. On the 36-inch machine, if you put the Tweel on there, it'll stick out wider than the deck, maybe about 2 inches or so. And so you're not going to be able to put a grass catcher on there, and you won't be able to get up real near stuff. And on the 42, it's pretty close to an ideal fit on the 42-inch intensity. Now, for the Bs, we don't necessarily recommend that you put Tweels on them because of the 3000 series transmissions again. You probably wouldn't have an issue if you put it on the 48 or 52, but that's not something we have enough data on at this point to call it warranty approved. And it's all about harshness. You know, it's the fact that the Tweel's on the machine and you're driving along steadily is not the issue. It's about peak loads when driving on asphalt or accelerating and these kinds of things that we're concerned about. And so with harsh operation, that would be a consideration. If you want to put it on there and you want to just drive the machine real softly, certainly you could. And while we're talking about warranty, one thing just to clarify, if you buy the Tweel from a Wright dealer through us, it might be a couple dollars more than if you buy it from one of Michelin's other outlets. But the thing about it is if you buy it with your mower or from Wright, you can finance it with your mower if you're getting your mower financed. And also, we stand behind the Tweels warranty. You know, once the Tweels mounted to the machine, any accessory we have that you mount, Wright accessory mount to the mower, that accessory gets the warranty period of the mower on it. And so we're going to back up the warranty on the Tweel before Michelin does. And that's something that, you know, for a higher dollar tire, it's worth something to you. So keep that in mind when you look at equipping your mower with a Tweel from your dealer on a new mower. Keep that in mind. Now for the fixed deck machines, the Tweel's too wide for a 32 and a 36. And on the bigger decks, certainly you could put the 18850 on there. For the walk behind, these machines, the tire diameter is too large. And so if you were to put the 18850 Tweel on these machines, it would drag on the deck, definitely on the 36 and 48. On the 52 and 61, it is just so close that it won't reliably not rub on the deck. And so we're not necessarily recommending the Tweel on the large frame walk behinds at this time. Now, that was a lot of information, and anytime we put out information like this, it's like the next day that it changes, right? And so the best thing to do when you're looking for your setup, if you're looking for specific part numbers, if you go to our website under the add-ons, on the add-ons we talk about all the different things that you can add to your machine, a lot of different accessories, and some of those are the Tweels. Now, the other thing that you can do, if you go to parts.wrightmfg.com, our parts lookup site, if you just search Tweel on that site, you'll get search results for the Tweels that we sell. And if you click on any one of those Tweel assemblies, you can see in there in the description will say it fits these models or whatever. And so there you can find exactly what part number you need and verify that it fits your current mower model. And then the same thing for the duals. If you go to our parts site, just search dual or dual Tweel, whatever you're looking for, put duals in there. You'll get search results for the dual kits. And there, again, you will see the fitment information when you click on an individual item. So hopefully that's helpful to you to understand, you know, what's available, what your options are, if you're looking for more information, how to get it. Oh, and one last item. When we talk about air tire duals, the price point for those sits somewhere around $1,500. And it's not cheap. And part of it just to understand is that, yeah, your mower came with 2 wheels, but the dual setup has a different tire size, so you're getting 4 more tires when you get the kit, and they have to get shipped by skid. They can't be shipped by parcel, and so that's all part of the cost. So typically dual airs are somewhere around $1,500 range. Dual Tweels get up closer to around $3,000 for the 4 Tweels, the spacers, the shipping, and all that. So hopefully that's helpful to you, and hope you have a great rest of your season.